I just recently put out a blog post entitled How to Win a Fight. How to win a fight. I think we all know what it's like to fight, and I'm not talking about those moments of friction you have with your spouse or your kids or kids with your parents, wherever you find yourself in life. But those big fights, those things that we look down the road and we know are coming, we're going to have to fight, and yet we don't always know exactly what to do. And try to break down some things that help us to put that in perspective. But all of that is taken from a passage in the Old Testament. The Old Testament book of 2 Chronicles chapter 20. There's a king in the nation of Israel that are getting ready to get into a fight. This is not a theoretical fight. It's not one of those fights of words or letters. This is a real fight with a real enemy. The king looked at the enemy and said, man, they're so much bigger than us. There's no way we can possibly win. And he began to ask his advisors, how do we win this fight? This is great. In 2 Chronicles chapter 20 and verse 12, having concluded that he did not know how to fight, here's what the king of Israel said. He said, it's a prayer. O our God, wilt thou not judge them? For we have no might against this great company that cometh against us. He said, you're going to have to do it. We can't do it. They're so big. Then he ended with this. Neither know we what to do, but our eyes are upon thee. That is how you win a fight. He said, God, the enemy that's coming is so big we have no idea what to do. In fact, God, if you want us to win, you're going to have to do the fighting. And since I don't know what else to do, I'll do the one thing I actually can do and put my eyes on you. God, I'm trusting you completely for the fight that is coming. A few verses later, I won't read all of this, but down in verse 15, God responds through the prophet. And he basically says this, I'll summarize, don't worry about it. Stop worrying. A couple of verses later, because God said don't worry, the king got the prophets together, then got the people together and started worshiping. They started literally singing and praising God. While the enemy was still coming, while the fight was still in front of them, they praised God for what would happen. And then as the story continues, you can go read about it on the blog if you'd like to. God brings the victory. You know how you win a fight? So often to win a fight, you have to be in the fight and you have to fight and you have to keep pushing. I know all of those things. We talk about all of those things. I've said all of those things. But as the enemy is coming upon you, you know the very best thing you can do is to step back and say, God, this is bigger than me. I don't know exactly what to do. I'm not running. I'm not turning away. I'm willing to fight, but I don't exactly know what to do. So I'm going to do the one thing I can do, and that is to trust you. And as we trust God, so much of the anxiety and so much of the frustration and so much of the pain and so much of the heartache, it goes away. Why? Because the responsibility for defeating the enemy has been placed on God and not us. Now, God may lead you to fight. So often that's what he did, even with the children of Israel. But there are times when God says, hey, stop worrying about it. I got it. And regardless of which course God pushes you on, if your eyes are firmly planted on him, there is confidence, there is hope, and there is peace. How do you win a fight? Well, you win by starting the same way the king of the nation of Israel started. By saying, God, we don't know what to do, but our eyes are upon you.